Yo, what's up? Welcome to my React channel. If you're currently watching this, be sure to check if you're subscribed now.
This is also crazy to me. The people that stand in like the longest line ever to get onto the plane, they rather just stand there forever and wait in line than to just stay seated for a bit longer and like keep reading the news or something. It's not like the plane's gonna fly sooner. It's not like they're gonna arrive sooner just because they got on the plane first. I don't know. I'm so confused.
What's the fastest way to board an airplane? I mean, you can't just throw open the gates like funneling cattle into a chute. That's not for us. We're primates after all. So let's put our monkey brains to work to tackle this queue, which is what boarding groups do. Prioritize plainly packing primates precisely. Primarily. Okay, we have a suggestion. Pour people into the plane back to front. This is an intuitive solution to fill a cylinder. But there's almost a law of the universe that solutions which are the first thing you think of and look sensible and are easy to implement are often terrible, ineffective solutions. Once implemented, will drag on civilization forever.
Like you have to have plays in the overhead compartment?
Systems,
Maybe.
So it should come as no surprise that this method is not good, and also what most airlines use to board their planes. Let's watch it in action. The first boarding group walks to the back of the
Why
plane.
do they all look like the bra emote?
Everything is smooth right until the first to go reaches their row and starts to stow. So slow. And for passenger 2, while their seat is in view, there's nothing to do. The aisles...
Guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about, but the other way around when getting off. If this person would have just let this guy go by first and then get their luggage.
Nothing to do. The aisle's one queue where all cannot but stew stuck like glue until this guy's through. Phew. It's bags. Bags cause most of the delay boarding a
He gets
flight.
to it?
Like with this, a full stop stow. When it happens, everyone boarding the plane within and without must wait until one person finishes.
It drives me crazy.
Can you feel it? The aggregate lost seconds of human life piling up like a bounty for a delighted reaper? Of course you can. You can feel it with every bag. What was I saying? Right, back to front boarding groups have a lot of full stop stows and very few of what you want. Pullaways and parallels and parallels and pullaways. Pullaways turn one queue into 2 and parallels decrease total bag stow time and are super satisfying. The rare triple partner parallel invoking a double high five at the sheer pleasure of its efficiency.
Nice.
But loading back to front lets few of these happen. Now, say you weren't just not good at designing boarding groups, but you were malicious and wanted to maximize the amount of human life wasted on a flight. What would you do? Not back to front, but front to back. The smaller the boarding group, the better.
Ugh.
This makes almost every tedious shuffle forward result in a full stop stow because most of the line waits by rows already full or outside the plane. Look familiar? This is where we acknowledge the class structure of airplanes. Real planes look like this, and first class boards first, front to back, before the pro economy.
There's one thing is not taken into account here, though. A lot of planes offer entering the plane both in the front and the back. Quite a common. But then you get a new issue. There's always some fucking clown that entered at the front, even though they need to get to the back. And now you got this awkward fucking trying to get by them and stuff, you know? Which sucks. Runa J, appreciate the sub, man.
Back to front. So excluding pre-boarding, all airlines start with a little of the slowest boarding method you could intentionally design. Now, obviously, this video will soon reveal faster boarding procedures, and you will wonder, why don't airlines use the faster methods? One possible answer is economic incentives. First class pays for perks, sometimes breathtaking perks for breathtaking amounts, and boarding first is one of them. Also, airlines give everyone loyalty points that move you up the class structure the more you fly with that airline, which gives airlines another good reason to group people and probably helps explain why they switched away from the older, faster method you won't believe they used to use.
Hey everyone, plane's here. Go ahead.
Doing nothing and having people board the flight in whatever order they
Free-for-all.
show up to get their assigned seat is faster than organizing tidy boarding groups. This is because random people are spread, well, randomly, increasing the chances of pullaways and parallels, unlike the more orderly methods airlines have switched to. Man, it's always frustrating to know that to literally have done nothing would be faster than the something that is done. But surely there's a better boarding group order to be found if we can just subtract malice and add thinking to this problem. 3 groups, window, middle, aisle, in that order. This is really the same as doing random thrice, one for each.
Yeah, actually, I got fucked by, I had the window seat, but I boarded in the end because I don't want to stand in line. And then the guy that had the middle seat took my window seat. And then I didn't want to be like, hey, can I have my window seat back? So I was like, it's fine, and I took the middle seat. I bet that was his plan all along.
But the reason
It's 1 hour, it's like a 1 hour flight, chat. I'm not gonna bother fucking
smidge faster is because it eliminates the other source of boarding delay, seat shuffles. When people board randomly, seat shuffling is going to happen a bunch, and when people spill into the aisle, it slows the queue. Ordering everyone by window, middle, aisle ensures a seat shuffle will never happen. This seems like it should be a big improvement, but when you simulate boarding an aircraft with a ton of real math rather than just animating it in a dramatically simplified fashion, or
I get both armrests,
experiments, the seat shuffle just isn't a big deal compared to bag stowage. People wrangling their one bag that won't possibly fit, or trying to get on board with 3 bags because they don't think the rules should apply to them, who then also fiddle around with getting their laptops out after stowing them, those kinds of delays for much more. So window middle aisle is maybe a smidge faster than random, which is good, and some airlines use this method, which gets their planes turned around faster than back to front, while still giving them boarding groups to play games with. The vast majority of airlines use either back to front or window middle aisle, so keep an eye out next time you're boarding a flight for which is happening to you. But can we go farther? Leaving the real world with its class systems and people and untidiness and smells, ascending to the platonic plane of physics, where cows are spheres and people cellular automaton who will execute instructions perfectly. Here in the Celestia, what is the theoretically fastest way to board a plane? On this level, here is what's possible.
It's beautiful. You're never gonna get, the problem is, it doesn't matter because you're never gonna get people to do this, because every time they're like, okay, we're now boarding these and these groups, everyone gets up anyway. It's like people don't give a shit which group they are in. I feel like, I don't think you get denied if you're in the wrong group, right? They still let you in. It's just they're trying to make people.
To achieve this ballet, there are no boarding groups, but everyone stands in an exact order. Back to front in alternating rows on alternating sides, windows in. This maximizes pullaways and parallels, pristinely packing people.
It's not ADHD. Sometimes I read chat while watching the video, and it's hard to absorb all the info at once. I guess I should just ignore chat for 10 minutes.
Witnessing such glory is too much for mortal minds to bear for long, so we are forced to descend back down into the meat world, the cacophony, the smell, where we must stuff monkeys into a tube, monkeys with families, where separating their young invites chaos and cleanup, where economic incentives divide to profit, and where, even at their best, the human inability to follow instructions is breathtaking. Here, people, upon seeing boarding group 123, would flip the hell out, let alone the impossibility of trying to get them to stand in line in order, and where, even if faster, like watching seconds of a clock, people would complain it was slower. Such gifts we were not meant to have. But is there a way we can modify this perfection to improve our lot on this planet?
I would have followed, chat. I would have loved that system.
Yes. Instead of exact order, boarding group the first would be all one side of the plane in every other row. Boarding group the second, the other side, then back and back again. 1, 2,
guys, because the plane is not going to take off sooner because you're on it sooner. I understand that. Okay, disregarding the overhead compartment thing, the goal for everyone that's getting on that plane should be to board as fast as possible as a group. We're not going to take off until everyone's on the plane, so it should be a collective goal to make the boarding as smooth and fast as possible. That way we can get to our destination ASAP. people just think of themselves.
4. We can't ask people for more. This shadow of the perfect method has a chance of working in the real world, with benefits like letting humans with families and friends board together, giving airlines boarding groups they can still play with, and still being faster than the current methods. Reaching for perfection, we will always come up short, but perhaps we can manage to get closer in the process.
Beer o'clock. The beer on my cock.
Oh, before you go, let me leave you with an annoying thought. You know how boarding a flight from front to back by row is the slowest possible method? The Reaper method? Well, after your flight, when the
Fabi, that alert is too short. We need the reply as well.
plane pulls into the gate and everyone ignores the flight attendant's admonishment to
Here it comes.
until the fastened seatbelt is off to grab their bag.
Yep.
And the door opens. How do we deplane? That's right. Front to back, row by row. No slower could we go.
This is what I'm talking about, chat. It drives me crazy. If they would have just cleaned out this entire row of people that have their luggage ready and ready to go, if everyone just waits for them or like, you know, clear them out, then all of these other people, they can all get out into the row and get their luggage parallel to each other. But now instead, this guy is standing here. He can't access his luggage because this guy's blocking the row, right? The only person that can access their luggage is the guy who's currently blocking the entire line. It drives me crazy! Whoosh! Okay.